What's going on, guys and gals of YouTube? My name is Rounded TikTak, and today we're going to be talking about legendary loot, where you can find it, what it actually means to have some, why are people farming it in a demo, and what the end game is actually going to look like. All that and more coming at you right now. So I know a few people want to know exactly how to farm legendary gear within the game, and I'm going to show you on screen right now why people are doing that. Within Outriders, there is an entire crafting system. We don't have access to it yet, but within my 60 hours of the alpha test, I did start to dabble within it. When you break down a weapon, so hypothetically, if I was to break down this legendary right here, those two mods on the bottom would end up in my inventory, and I can use them on any other gun in the entire game. So even though, yes, when the demo drops or when the full game releases, we're going to get rid of all of these legendaries in a couple of levels, you're going to always keep the tier 3 mods that are unique to these legendaries in your inventory to put on any other weapon. With that being said, how are people farming this? Well, I'm going to show you my way of how I'm farming it. It's not the most efficient way, but I actually like to play the game instead of just kick chests for 5 hours straight. So I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. First, in my opinion, you should play a Trickster. They seem at this point in the game to have the highest DPS on a single target. If you did not know, you can go down to here, select story point. We're going to grab this one, the third one down, confront the altered at the tower. Click that, reload, and this will relaunch that entire quest line. We're going to press continue game, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing to farm legendary gear. So as we load in here, I'm going to show you exactly what I've been doing to try to get a few legendaries. Unlucky, I haven't had any drop for me. I've got 23 hours in the game so far, but hopefully maybe right here we'll get one. So we spawn in at the door, we run backwards to this chest right here, and we give it a kick, and we get a green. The next chest is right down here. It's real quick. I just hit this corner right here. My sound effects and all my volume are very, very quiet for recording, so that's why you're not really hearing anything. All right, we got another green, and then the last chest is back this way. You can hit this one earlier if you want to and get this chest that we had just gotten last, and then just reload from the story point like we showed at the beginning. But I don't like really doing that without, I don't like just kicking chests the entire time. The last chest is here, so I'm going to show you what I do to just have a little more fun in the game. All right, another green. Now, before I show you this last little step, I'm going to talk about abilities real quick and exactly what you're looking for if you want to do it this way. So you're looking for a specific few things: a auto shotgun or an LMG. And you want to play Trickster because he has twisted rounds. Twisted rounds gives you 201 bonus damage on your gun, so it's a lot of bonus DPS. That's for one entire magazine. That's why we're using an LMG, because our mag size is 100. This LMG inflicts vulnerability, so they also take some bonus damage that way. The only other thing you really need to look for is this mod here, Twisted Rounds. This skill is effective for, additional mag before twisted rounds. This skill is effective for 2 magazines before triggering the cooldown. So we have 200 bullets to take down Gauss, the final boss, and then hit his chest as well. So let's do that real quick. All you need are those 2 mods, which honestly, they come on everything, or you can buy them in the shops. Doesn't really matter. And you'll see how fast we'll kill him here. And this isn't even a fully optimized build. If I wanted to farm a little better, I would do my best to find more twisted round mods. So we're just going to turn on our twisted mods, run up to him, use temporal, and just start shooting. Avoid his melee. And we're coming down to the last couple of bullets. He's going to teleport. We're going to reload. Where did he go? Oh, there he is. We're just going to start shooting one more time. He always does steel wall at the very, very end, but it doesn't matter. You can just shoot between the steel wall and take him out. I'm gonna skip the cutscene, and then there's one final chest we're going to grab, and that is right here. Come on, legendary.
Don't thank me yet.
Absolutely not. I got another blue. And that is what I've been doing. From here, you just go to return lobby, press yes, and then reload your story point from that spot one more time. Double click, and then just do the cycle again. That is how people are farming currently. It seems to be the most amount of drops you can get within a certain time frame. But that's not the only point of this video. I wanted to go into actual legendaries and why they're going to be so important in the game, besides the fact of just the mods. Now, I personally have spent around 60 to 70 hours in the alpha test on Xbox, and although I'm still under NDA, I can talk about the legendaries that are dropping now that I had experience with in the other game. At one point towards the end of the alpha that I was able to play on Xbox, I had a lot of questions like, why would you even use legendaries? Yeah, sure, the perk is nice, but I don't want to use a sniper rifle. I'm a devastator. So I'm stuck using that sniper rifle? Yes, and at the same time, no. In this case here, we're going to talk about the Iceberg sniper rifle. I'm going to show you some things about it that you may or may not know, and exactly what I think the end game is going to be, specifically much later down the line in Expedition. So we can see this Iceberg has Winter Blast and Icebreaker. When crafting does open up, if you wanted to take one of these perks and put them on a different gun, you absolutely could. You can do that. That's no problem. That's actually a big part of the game. But if that's the case, I thought during my alpha test, why would I use the sniper rifle? So it took some more thinking and using my brain just a little bit more to realize what the legendaries actually bring to the table. Number one, this legendary here is a a legendary version of this gun here, the bolt action rifle standard variation. In this case, the camo ECA-B SNP. But if we take a look at them side by side, we can see a few differences here. Number one is that it has 2 mod slots instead of 1, which is a huge deal. It literally is almost like a second ability on a gun, which is fantastic. But we can take a look at our firepower as well. These are both level 9, and the Iceberg is at 333, and this one is at 269. Your firepower increases the weapon damage your character deals, but that's not all. Each gun also has a base damage number. The standard version here, the blue one, has 93, while the Iceberg has 115. So not only are you getting extra firepower, you're also getting extra base damage per shot on the legendary gun. And just those two things are kind of meh, if I'm being completely honest, about a legendary gun that you can take off the mods you want anyway and put it on an assault rifle or, you know, LMG. But the real trick here are those 3 white bars: crit damage, status power, and long range damage in this case. Now, one thing I do not know if these are locked to specific legendaries. Does every Iceberg drop with these 3 white bars? I'm not sure, but I don't think so. But if they don't, and even if they do, I believe that the real end game is going to get 3 of those stats that you want. So in this case, again, crit damage, status power, and long range damage are all pretty good for, let's say, a Technomancer at high percentages. So 11.9, if it scales to 15, that's mid-tier. If status power goes up to 20, 17.5 is pretty good. And long range damage at 6, if that goes up to 10, it's kind of middle of the road. And if it goes up to 15, then it's trash. So you're going to need a better Iceberg to drop to get those perfect rolls. Now, one thing to think about though is that do the base rolls or the base numbers that originally come on the gun allow you to roll them higher? Because although I'm pretty sure you can't change the white passive perks, you can increase them. So you can see down here, your shards are used for that. So it says weapon life leech 16, armor pierce 9. If we look at our weapon, it has weapon life leech at 11, and this gun right here is again at 12.8. I'm not sure where the armor piercing is coming in. I really don't know, but it's there, and you can eventually use these shards to level it up. However, does an 11%, if you can only level it up 10 times, let's hypothetically say it gets 1 point per time, so it goes up to 21%. If it dropped at 15, could you get it up to 25% instead of 21? I think, I'm not 100% sure here, obviously, but I think that's where the end game is going to lie. You're going to use these legendaries because they're the highest scaling guns in the game, and they're the only ones with 3 passives. Even a epic weapon, which I thought had 2 passives, does not. You can see here the Marksman OL Emperor's Will only comes with 2 mods, but still only 1 passive. That's all I really wanted to show you guys and talk about some of the legendary weapons here. We have here the Amber Vault, which is Killing Spree. Killing shots increase damage by 30%. Scales up to 5 times. I had this in the alpha and I used it for like 30 levels. It was ridiculous. This gun is nuts. The Airy Master had this one as well. Didn't love it, but its shots inflict rift on enemies and they fly up into the air. Pretty good for crowd control. The Migraine shots inflict bleed on enemies. Pretty self-explanatory. We went over the Iceberg. This one is the Voodoo Matchmaker. Shots link up to 2 enemies sharing 30% of their weapon damage dealt and 10% of their anomaly damage dealt. And again, we can see the white passive perks here aren't that highly rolled, or at least they don't seem to be that highly rolled. So I'm pretty sure that's where the end game grind is going to come in. And then lastly here, we have the Golem's Limb, and killing shots grants you protective golem effect for 3 seconds. I also had that in the alpha, and I couldn't convince myself to take it off of my build because it provided so much survivability in the end game. It was ridiculous. But there you go, guys. That is a quick look at some of the legendary gear and exactly what I think the late game is going to be and exactly how to farm some for yourself, at least within the demo. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. And if you guys want to check me out over at Twitch, it's twitch.tv/roundedtiktak. We stream 4 days a week. I would love to see you there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. TikTak out.